my equestrian friends, and happy 2019! It is New Year's. Actually, today's New Year's Day when I'm recording this, but you aren't going to see it until Wednesday. But, you know, Happy New Year to you. Happy 2019. And with the new year comes time for new resolutions or new goals. And for me, on New Year's Day, this is a day where I don't have to go to work, so I do like to plan for the upcoming year. And I like to plan for one goal, one really big goal that I want to shoot for the upcoming year. And this year, I have a big goal, something to shoot for, something big. So to give you a little bit of background for my goal, we live in Colorado. And I don't know if you know about the property prices in Colorado, but they are getting super expensive. And we are fortunate enough that we do have a small piece of property where we live. And something that I've always wanted is a real barn, put that in quotes, real barn for my horses. When we first moved here, we had a little lean-to structure, which really wasn't ideal for horses or for giving my horses a stall or a barn, a place to live. So after a while, that structure pretty much fell apart and we tore it down and we put up the barn we currently have. It's basically a lean-to shed that we put a wall down the center of, which I've made a video of, and you guys can see that by looking through my past videos. And we have attached pens on the stalls for the horses, so they can go into their stall or they can come out into the paddock. Unfortunately though, it's not a real barn. And what I mean by a real barn is I want something I can shut my horses in and keep them completely sealed away from the weather if I wanted to. And I know that there's going to be a lot of challenges and a lot of projects along the way until we can get this barn here built at our house and actually have my horses move in. But all of the work and all of the challenges, I know in the end it is so going to be worth it. To be able to have a tack room and a feed room and the horses in the stalls, everything under one roof, to me is ideal. And that is what I really want, which means my goal or resolution for 2019 is going to be that we are going to have a real barn for my horses this year. Now, dreaming of building a barn is one thing. Putting that plan into action is a completely different animal. But I have to say right now, the dreaming process and the wish list process is really fun. But if I want this barn to take place, I have to stop dreaming and I actually have to put those dreams into action to make it happen. And the first step, or the first part of this process, is actually reaching out to different companies that build barns in our area. I can't just look at the pictures and say, that's really cool, I want that barn. Poof, there's my new barn. I wish it was that easy, but it's not. So what I've been doing for the past week or so is actually reaching out to barn representatives and companies that build barns to find out how much it is going to cost us to build this barn. And so far I have reached out to 3 different builders. One is MD Barn Masters, one is Morton Buildings, and one is Cleary Buildings. And Cleary Buildings and Morton Buildings are kind of similar, but MD Barns is something different. They are more of a modular type barn. And all 3 of these companies are really neat. Their websites are awesome. If you're looking for ideas of building a barn or you have no idea where to get started, I would really encourage you to visit MD Barn Masters, Cleary Buildings, and of course Morton Buildings. So far I've heard back from MD Barn Master, and they basically told me, hey, you know, we'll get back with you after the first of the year. And I completely understand that. I wasn't expecting, you know, to get something back right away from them. Actually, I wasn't expecting to get something right away from any of them. However, Morton Buildings and the sales rep, his name is Philip, within probably 10 minutes of me, I don't even know if it was 10 minutes, it was like almost instant of me sending an email to the company and asking them about the barn. I got a reply email back, which I was really impressed with because on their little contact me information form, I told them I was at work and I don't really have a lot of access that I can be on my phone while I'm at work. So email is the best way to communicate with me. Well, he emailed me back like, bam, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. and he was doing some research for me and helping me out, and I was just really blown away by the customer service that I got from Philip at Morton Buildings. That was really cool. And I reached out to Cleary Buildings as well, and again, through no fault of their own, it's New Year's, so I understand that I'm not going to get a reply back right away, and that's okay. So out of the 3 companies that I've reached out to, 2 have gotten back with me, and 1 I'm still waiting to hear from. So do you want to see my dream barn? Do you want to see what I'm looking at? Good answer, because now I'm going to show you. So the first barn that really caught my attention is by MD Barn Masters. And I actually was able to find one of their barns with like a special price online. And that barn is around $36,000 for their sale price, or $41,000 not sale price. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but it's exactly what I want. It has everything that I want in the barn, and it will definitely be something that is going to stay here forever, of course. So it will increase the value of the property that we currently have. I'm pretty sure that price tag doesn't come with the installation or the concrete and all of the little extras that are going to come up. So I'm going to be really curious to see what the final price on this barn would be. I'll just have to wait and find out. The second barn that I'm looking at is by Morton Buildings, and I don't know about you, but I just love Morton Buildings. I always loved Morton Buildings. But this is a really nice barn. It's 36 by 36 with like 12 feet tall ceilings, and it's just a basic barn, but it's got the stalls, it's got a tack room, and some storage area that I can use for everything that's in my little red barn right now, which I'll have to find someplace to store. I have no idea how much their price point is going to be, but I have to say again that I was really impressed with their customer service, and Philip also was helping me out as far as like having to take down the other 2 barns, which I'm hoping that I'll be able to sell and at least get a little bit of money for those, which will help offset the cost of my big fancy barn. And the third barn that I'm looking at is from Cleary Buildings. And the reason I chose them is they actually have a Cleary Building Center not too far from where I live. So I'm kind of interested to see how much they're going to quote me as far as building my barn. Most of my neighbors have either Cleary Buildings or Morton Buildings for their barns. So pretty sure it's going to be one of those. I don't know, because I really do like the MD barns too. The thing that I like the most about the MD Barnmaster barns is they're modular, and they have like lifetime warranties. They're like almost fireproof and kick-proof, so pretty sturdy, and I think they'll last a long time. I would hope any of these barns is going to last a very long time. So those are the actual building companies that I've reached out to and just waiting to hear back from. And I think probably that's how we're going to go, is with a builder, have them come out and basically do everything from removing the buildings that we currently have, doing the excavation, doing the concrete work, everything. So that way I don't have to worry about everything. It's just going to be done. But if I did want to manage the entire process from start to finish on my own, there's options. So a couple of options are from companies that sell the kits or the barn kit, and then you are responsible for everything else. So pulling the permits, building the barn, doing the excavation, all of that. 100% of the work is going to be up to you and figuring out who's going to build your barn, or if you're talented enough and have a lot of friends that could help you build the barn. This is going to be the most affordable way to do it, but it's going to be a lot more legwork on my part if that's the route I choose to go. So for example, Hanson Buildings or Hanson Barns, they have a 36 by 36 by 12 foot barn on their website that they will ship out to you, and it costs $9,530. That is a really good deal when you're looking at, you know, barn prices, looking at $41,000 versus $10,000. But what you don't see in that $10,000 price is all of the work. Then I still have to add the stalls and everything else that goes into place. So that $10,000 barn might just end up costing $41,000 too. But it is an option. Another option is DIY pole barns. And I'm not sure if you guys have heard of them before, but they have an excellent website where you can go in there and put in everything that you want. You can customize everything on your barn, and you can get a really good idea of what it's going to cost for the kit of the barn. And having the lean-to, having 2 stalls, having the tack room, skylights, the little cupola, I don't know how to say that, the little thing on the top, ridge vents, everything you want. So for that big of a barn, it's 36 by 36 by 12. That would run me around $25,000. That is for all of the building materials and engineered plans. So then I just have to go get the building permit and then find somebody to build it. But then they also give you a guesstimate of how much it's going to cost to build your barn. So to build that barn, they gave me a guesstimate of about $8,000. So not too bad, about $35,000 for the barn to be built, and then I would have a barn. So that's not too bad either. That is actually a very viable option too, and I could get everything I wanted inside the barn. So it looks like pretty much any way I go about doing this, and from all of the research that I've been doing right now, I'm pretty confident that the barn is going to cost around $41,000 to build. Yeah, $41,000 for a barn. So like I said in the beginning, I am just getting started in this process. This is just the beginning, which is really cool because then I can take you along the journey with me while we're having this barn completed. So if you have been toying with the idea of building a barn or just curious how the whole process goes, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can see this process as it unfolds. From right now of the, I want to build a barn, until the day that I'm moving the horses into the barn, this might be a really fun video series for you to watch. So there you have it. My goal for 2019 is to earn enough money so that I can have a real barn for my horses. And I'm going to take you along the process, and so you can see exactly how everything is happening here on my YouTube channel. And I'm also going to have a lot of videos showing you different ways to build your own horse jumps and possibly earn a little bit of extra money. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I hope you have a fantastic new year. Here's to a great 2019 for all of us. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.